Deadlift day, which basically means work up to a heavy single. And I figured if I want to do that, I don't want to spend too much energy on sets on the squats. So I thought, why don't I just work up to a heavy single on squats as well? That's kind of generally been the way I do things on deadlift days. And you might think to yourself, why would you just not deadlift first? There's a few reasons. The number one reason is because squats wake me up. Squats prepare my lower back, my core, hip flexors, all of that stuff to deadlift. I've always kind of felt like deadlifts are easy. It's like low-hanging fruit. Very easy to just kind of reach down and pull. But you don't want to just reach down and pull. You also want to reach down and push, then pull. And starting the session with a squat tells my body, okay, we need to push. And so I kind of put a little bit of quads on the map, fire up the core and the low back because of the extreme range of motion that I'm using in those squats with the deep ATG squats. Kind of prepares all of that. And so deadlifting then kind of feels easier. This new stance, though, I've never done this weight with this stance. 160 kilos here. 200. I really wanted to know where I was going to fail it. It felt awful the moment I unracked it. It was too heavy for me. Way too heavy. I wanted to feel... God, I don't like dropping these weights on the ground, but I didn't put the bloody pads on the right spot. But I wanted to feel what it feels like to fail with this stance. What goes on? And I think I got that out of it. I got down and I felt like it was all adductors. The reason why I didn't make that lift was because of adductors. That's what it felt like. As I'm looking at myself and my hanging guts here. What a non-aesthetic look. And where did I get this gut from? The anterior pelvic tilt is in full blast. It's not just anterior pelvic tilt. There's also adipose tissue here. And when I look at my father, this is the way my genetics are. Like all my fat is stored in the belly. My dad, I've seen him skinny arms, skinny legs, skinny everything, belly. Which is not good. I don't really like that. But then some people say, you don't want chest fat either. You don't want thigh fat either. I guess, your distribution of where the fat is, it's entirely up to the genetics. This is mine. And then you throw in the mix of anterior pelvic tilt and it looks really bad. I got to the deadlifts and they felt really, really heavy. And I was kind of searching for answers and then I kind of realized why they were that heavy. And that's because 2 days ago I did a PR on the pull-ups. I did the 22 pull-ups on the wide grip. And if you still don't appreciate, if you still don't believe the importance of lats and traps in deadlifts, I don't know what to tell you, man. But like I've learned this firsthand, and this is another example today. Man, if you don't have a set of lats and traps that are rested, the deadlifts are going to feel very heavy, very heavy. And so when I was doing all those deadlifts in December, when I increased the deadlift for 20 kilos, the way I did it was I would have day 1, 2, 3, working sets on whatever I'm doing. Usually day 1, I would do deadlifts and rows. And then 7 days later, until day 1 again, I would not train lats again at all. And so I would have a full week of resting. And so by the time I got to the deadlift, both the deadlifting muscles, let's say the glutes, the hamstrings, the core, the hip flexors, and as well as lats and traps, because of all of the rowing that I did on the same day as deadlifts, they all had the same recovery period. So I didn't have this staggering effect where, let's say if I did it, day 1 I did deadlifts, day 3 I did, let's say Monday, and then day 3 on Wednesday I did lats. Well, now I have only 5 or 4 days of rest for the lats, while the lower body, the deadlifting muscles, let's say, it's a poor term to use, but the lower body exhausted by the deadlifts are now have 7 days. So it's kind of like, you want to have the same amount of rest if you want the same performance and everything to be ready at the same level. But now since I'm kind of throwing in pull-ups, I've got this staggering effect where, sure, the rows are still done, not on day 1, but on day 2 or day 3, I have this like noise now where it's all over the place and I can't really plan. And that's okay. For this period, it's okay because I'm not feeling strong. I'm not kind of peaking. I'm not trying to express. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to kind of work out a few things. The groin pain mainly, the hip pain, because of all of that stuff that I've been dealing with for the last month, basically. So once I address all of that and start to feel good again, then boom, I'm going to get back into doing, the same kind of projections, the same schedule on those muscles. That's kind of how I want to do it. Then I go to good mornings, and good mornings, I know a lot of you guys are like, Ivan, how the hell can you good morning so much weight? Man, I wish my squats felt like my good mornings feel. Like, this is such a natural movement for me. I don't really understand it, man, but maybe it's the leverages, maybe it's the way I move, maybe it's the way I squatted all these years, but like, my back is just made to just lean over. And as a result, I've got these middle erectors that I've quite well developed. I feel happy, I feel strong, narrow stance, leaning over. That's exactly what I want to be. And I'm strong at it. I feel like, doing a set of 120 kilos for a set of 3 sets of 10 is pretty good. I've done more. I was talking to a fella on Instagram recently about it. I reckon I've done 160 for 1 or 2 or 3 reps, something like that, with this, which is crazy. I know I've done 140 for a set of 10, I believe. Which is, but the way this is moving, 120, I think 140 is possible for a set. I just wish I had something equivalent for the legs, like I have this for the posterior chain. But for some reason, the legs are very hard for me to hit, unless I'm in a machine like a hack squat. That's probably the best one to really isolate the quads. But this new squatting stance that I'm doing is feeling a lot of quads. So watch this space. Maybe I can completely replace the hack squat with this new stance of squatting, because this is really feeling like really good on the quads. So hopefully I can kind of, I don't know, I always have this like feeling that I really want to, have all of my training done at home, exactly how I would be in the gym. I've not been to the gym probably now for a month, and that's because life got busy, man. The kids started school again. It's like every day is just go. My missus is training with me on occasion now. She's doing at least 3-4 days a week with me in the gym. So I still have the opportunity to kind of duck out and go to the gym. But the way it is right now, like I could have gone to the gym today. I had a day off work. But then where's the SSB? I don't have the SSB. So I didn't do that. I'm keen to kind of go back to the gym and feel that whippy bar again. But I keep thinking to myself, what's the point? I'm not feeling strong. The day I wouldn't mind going to the gym for would be the leg day, like tomorrow. Tomorrow I plan to do a lot of squats. But, in December and November, I did a lot of accessory machines as well on the day that falls tomorrow. So, a hack squat, leg press, that kind of thing. I wouldn't mind to do that again. But I kind of hope always in the back of my mind to find something that I can do at home, which is the same effect as hack squats or whatever the machine is. I always look for alternatives for it at home. And this new stance of squatting feels very much like a hack squat. Like I feel very, very squatty, which is excellent. So I'll hit that tomorrow for a bunch of volume and see how it feels tomorrow. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.